There are moments in every life when the world seems to conspire against us. When the mountain of adversity rises so high, and the winds of doubt blow so fiercely, that even the bravest heart may falter. Yet, it is in these very moments that the seeds of greatness are sown. For it is not the easy path that forges the strongest character, but the road marked by obstacles, setbacks, and trials. Let me ask you, have you ever felt the odds were stacked so high against you that success seemed a distant dream? If so, you are in the company of every man and woman who has ever achieved anything of lasting value. Napoleon Hill, whose words have inspired millions, taught that the starting point of all achievement is desire. Not a fleeting wish or a passing fancy, but a burning, all-minus consuming desire that refuses to be extinguished by failure, ridicule, or delay. This is the power that moves mountains, the force that bends circumstances to the will of the determined soul. Consider the story of Edwin C. Barnes, a man who, with little more than a vision and a relentless desire, set out to become a business associate of Thomas Edison. Barnes did not possess wealth, influence, or even a formal introduction. What he did possess was a desire so intense that it became the guiding star of his life. He did not say, "I would like to work with Edison if I can." He declared, "I will work with Edison, and I will not stop until I succeed." Years passed. Barnes faced rejection, menial work, and the scorn of those who could not see his vision. Yet, he persisted. His unwavering desire became his compass, and in time, Edison recognized in him the very quality that all great men possess: the refusal to quit. Barnes became Edison's partner, not by chance, but by the power of desire made manifest through action. What does this mean for you? It means that no matter how great the odds, no matter how many times you have failed, you possess within you the spark that can ignite a fire of achievement. Desire is not a gift reserved for the fortunate few. It is a force that can be cultivated, strengthened, and directed by anyone willing to pay the price of persistence and faith. Let us be clear, desire alone is not enough. It must be coupled with faith, the unshakable belief that you can and will succeed. It must be fed daily by autosuggestion, the practice of affirming your goal until it becomes a living reality in your mind. It must be supported by specialized knowledge, imagination, and organized planning. Above all, it must be sustained by persistence, the willingness to stand up one more time that you are knocked down. History is filled with men and women who triumphed against impossible odds. Abraham Lincoln, who rose from poverty and repeated defeat to become one of the greatest leaders the world has known. Helen Keller, who overcame the darkness of blindness and the silence of deafness to inspire millions. Each of these lives is a testament to the power of unwavering desire. You may ask, how do I kindle such desire within myself? Begin by defining exactly what you want. Vague wishes produce vague results. Write your goal in clear, definite terms. See it in your mind's eye. Feel it as if it were already yours. Repeat it to yourself morning and night until it becomes a part of your very being. Surround yourself with those who believe in your vision and set your ears to the voices of doubt and discouragement. Remember, the world will often test your resolve. There will be days when progress is slow, when setbacks threaten to extinguish your flame. In these moments, recall the words of Napoleon Hill: every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Hold fast to your desire. Let it be the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm, the light that guides you through the darkness. As you move forward, take practical steps. Acquire the knowledge you need. Seek out mentors and allies. Plan your work and work your plan. When obstacles arise, do not retreat. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I turn this setback into a stepping stone? In doing so, you transform adversity into advantage and defeat into victory. Let me leave you with this: the power to succeed against all odds lies not in your circumstances, but in your desire. Nurture it. Let it duck you to action, and refuse to let it die. For in the end, it is not the world that determines your destiny, but the fire that burns within your own heart. Now is the time to act. Decide what you want. Commit to it with every fiber of your being. Persist until you prevail. The world may doubt you, but if your desire is strong enough, nothing can stand in your way. Go forth and let your unwavering desire lead you to heights you never dreamed possible. Life, in its infinite wisdom, rarely grants us a path free of obstacles. Instead, it offers us a series of challenges, setbacks, and disappointments, each one seemingly designed to test the strength of our spirit. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of difficulty that the greatest opportunities for growth are hidden. Have you ever wondered why some individuals rise from defeat stronger than before, while others are crushed by the weight of adversity? The answer, as Napoleon Hill so often revealed, lies in the ability to transform setbacks into stepping stones. Let us consider the nature of failure. To the untrained mind, failure is a signal to retreat, a reason to abandon one's dreams. But to the mind trained in the philosophy of success, failure is nothing more than feedback, a message from the universe that a new approach is needed, that a lesson must be learned before progress can continue. Hill wrote, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." This is not mere optimism, it is a law of nature, as real and unyielding as gravity itself. Think of Thomas Edison, who, in his quest to perfect the electric light, encountered thousands of failed experiments. Each setback could have been the end of his journey. Instead, Edison viewed every failure as a lesson, a necessary step on the road to success. He did not see himself as defeated, but as educated. In his own words, he had not failed, he had simply found thousands of ways it would not work. This perspective transformed obstacles into opportunities, and ultimately into triumph. How, then, can you apply this principle in your own life? Begin by changing your relationship with failure. When you encounter a setback, resist the urge to despair or assign blame. Instead, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what is this experience trying to teach me? What skill, knowledge, or strength must I develop to overcome this challenge? In doing so, you shift your focus from the pain of the moment to the promise of growth. It is also essential to maintain a spirit of persistence. Setbacks are not signals to quit, but invitations to try again with greater wisdom. Each time you rise after a fall, you build resilience. Each lesson learned becomes a stone in the foundation of your future success. Remember, the most successful men and women are not those who never fail, but those who refuse to let failure define them. Surround yourself with those who encourage you to see the value in adversity. Seek out mentors who have walked the path before you, who can share their own stories of turning defeat into victory. Draw strength from their example, and let their words remind you that you are not alone in your struggles. Take practical steps to turn your setbacks into stepping stones. Write down the lessons you have learned from each failure. Use this knowledge to refine your plans, to strengthen your resolve, and to move forward with renewed determination. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and trust that each step brings you closer to your goal. In closing, remember that life's greatest achievements are often born from its greatest challenges. The road to success is paved with the stones of failure, each one a testament to the power of perseverance and the wisdom of learning from adversity. Embrace your setbacks, for they are the teachers that will guide you to heights you never imagined possible. Let every obstacle become a stepping stone, and you will find that there is no limit to what you can achieve. There is a force within every human being that, when awakened, can move mountains and transform the impossible into the inevitable. This force is faith, not a passive hope, but an active, living belief in oneself and in the vision one holds. Napoleon Hill, in his timeless wisdom, declared that faith is the head chemist of the mind. It is the element that, when mixed with desire, gives birth to achievement. Consider for a moment the story of Henry Ford. He was a man of modest means, unlimited formal education, yet he possessed an unshakable faith in his vision to build a car for the masses. The world scoffed at his dream. Experts told him it could not be done. Banks refused him credit. Friends and family doubted his sanity. But Ford's faith was not dependent on the approval of others. He saw, in his mind's eye, a world transformed by affordable automobiles. He believed so completely in his vision that every setback became a stepping stone, every failure a lesson, every delay a test of his resolve. In the end, it was not his resources, but his faith that changed the world. Faith, as Hill teaches, is not blind. It is built through repeated affirmation, through the daily practice of seeing and feeling your goal as already accomplished. It is strengthened by surrounding yourself with those who believe in your dream, and by shutting out the voices of doubt and fear. Faith is the antidote to discouragement, the shield against the arrows of criticism, and the engine that drives persistence in the face of adversity. How can you cultivate such faith in your own life? Begin by choosing a goal that stirs your soul. Write it down in clear, definite terms. Read it aloud each morning and night with conviction and emotion. Visualize yourself already in possession of your desire. Feel the joy, the pride, the gratitude as if your dream were reality. In doing so, you impress your goal upon your subconscious mind, and faith begins to grow. When obstacles arise, and they surely will, let your faith be the anchor that holds you steady. Remind yourself that every great achievement was once considered impossible. Recall the words of Napoleon Hill: faith is the only known antidote for failure. Trust in your ability to learn, to adapt, and to persist. Seek out the company of those who uplift and encourage you, and distance yourself from the doubters and naysayers. History is filled with examples of men and women who triumphed over adversity through the power of faith. Helen Keller, who overcame the darkness of blindness and the silence of deafness to inspire millions. Abraham Lincoln, who rose from repeated defeat to lead a nation. Each of these lives is a testament to the truth that faith, when combined with desire and action, can move the mightiest mountains. Let your faith be unwavering. Let it be the light that guides you through the darkest nights, the strength that lifts you when you stumble, and the fire that fuels your journey to greatness. For when you believe in yourself and your vision, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Go forth with faith, and watch as the mountains before you begin to move. There is a principle, quietly powerful yet often overlooked, that has shaped the destinies of the world's most successful men and women. Napoleon Hill called it the mastermind principle, the alliance of two or more minds working in perfect harmony toward a common goal. When you harness this principle, you multiply your ability to succeed against all odds. Imagine for a moment the story of Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the wealthiest men of his era. Carnegie openly credited his success not to his own genius alone, but to the collective wisdom and support of his mastermind group. He surrounded himself with men of vision, skill, and integrity, each contributing their unique strengths to the pursuit of a shared dream. Together, they accomplished what none could have achieved alone. The power of the mastermind lies in the blending of minds. When two or more people come together in a spirit of harmony, a third intangible force is created, a force greater than the sum of its parts. Ideas spark, solutions emerge, and courage is renewed. In times of doubt or difficulty, the mastermind provides encouragement, perspective, and accountability. It is a wellspring of inspiration and a shield against discouragement. How can you apply this principle in your own life? Begin by seeking out those who share your values and aspirations. Look for individuals who are committed to growth, who believe in your vision, and who will challenge you to rise higher. Meet regularly, whether in person or in spirit, to share your goals, your challenges, and your progress. Listen with an open mind, and offer your own insights freely. In this way, you create a circle of trust and support that will sustain you through adversity. Remember, the mastermind is not merely a gathering of friends. It is a deliberate alliance, formed with the purpose of mutual advancement. Each member brings something of value: knowledge, experience, encouragement, or resources. Together, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you could ever be alone. History is filled with examples of the mastermind at work. The Wright brothers, whose partnership and shared vision gave birth to flight. The founding fathers, whose debates and collaboration forged a new nation. In every case, it was the union of minds, united in purpose, that overcame the greatest obstacles. If you wish to succeed against all odds, do not walk the path alone. Seek out your own mastermind. Nurture it with honesty, respect, and a spirit of service. Let it be the wind at your back, the compass that keeps you true, and the force that propels you toward your highest aspirations. For when minds unite in harmony, there is no limit to what can be achieved. There is a quality that separates those who merely wish for success from those who achieve it, even when the world seems determined to say no. That quality is persistence, the unwavering determination to keep moving forward, no matter how many doors are closed, how many setbacks are endured, or how many times defeat whispers that it is time to quit. Napoleon Hill called persistence the sustained effort necessary to induce faith and transform desire into reality. Let us look to the life of Abraham Lincoln, a man who knew rejection and defeat more intimately than most. He failed in business, lost elections, and suffered personal tragedies that would have broken a lesser spirit. Yet, Lincoln refused to let the world's no become the end of his story. Each setback became a lesson, each defeat a stepping stone. He pressed on, year after year, until at last he was called to lead a nation through its darkest hour. His persistence, not his talent or luck, was the true measure of his greatness. Or consider the story of Shed. Kay Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection from publishers who could not see the magic in her words. She pressed on, undeterred by the chorus of no that echoed around her. Her persistence brought Harry Potter to the world, and in doing so, she transformed her own life and the lives of millions. Persistence is not blind stubbornness. It is the intelligent, purposeful refusal to give up on a worthy goal. It is the willingness to adapt, to learn, and to try again with greater wisdom. When the world says no, the persistent soul asks, what can I do differently? How can I turn this rejection into a new opportunity? Hill teaches us that persistence is built through habit. It is strengthened by a clear purpose, a burning desire, and the support of a mastermind group. It is sustained by faith in oneself and in the justice of one's cause. When you feel your resolve weakening, return to your purpose. Remind yourself why you began this journey. Seek encouragement from those who believe in you and shut out the voices of doubt. Remember, every no brings you one step closer to yes. Every defeat is a lesson in disguise. The world may not reward you immediately, but it cannot ignore the man or woman who refuses to be denied. In the end, it is not the most talented or the most fortunate who prevail, but those who persist when others have given up. Let your persistence be the force that carries you through rejection, disappointment, and defeat. Let it be the drumbeat that keeps you marching when the world falls silent. For when you persist, you claim the power to shape your own destiny, and you prove to the world and to yourself that nothing can stand in the way of a determined soul. There is a faculty within the human mind that has shaped the course of history and turned defeat into victory time and again. That faculty is imagination, the ability to see beyond present circumstances, to envision new possibilities, and to create solutions where none seem to exist. Napoleon Hill taught that imagination is the workshop of the mind, where plans are fashioned and dreams are given form. Consider the story of George Washington Carver, born into slavery and faced with a world of limitations. Yet, through the power of creative thought, Carver transformed the humble peanut into hundreds of products, revolutionizing agriculture and industry. He did not accept the boundaries set by others. Instead, he asked, "What can I do with what I have?" His imagination became the key that unlocked doors no one else could see. Imagination is not the idle play of fancy, but the deliberate act of asking new questions and daring to see what others overlook. When crisis strikes and the old ways fail, it is imagination that lights the path forward. Hill reminds us that every adversity brings with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The task is to discover that seed, to nurture it with creative thought, and to bring forth a harvest of new opportunity. How can you cultivate imagination in your own life? Begin by making time for quiet reflection. Step away from the noise and business of the world and allow your mind to wander. Ask yourself, what if? And why not? Challenge assumptions. Seek inspiration from nature, from art, from the stories of those who have triumphed over adversity. Write down your ideas, no matter how improbable they may seem. Share them with trusted allies and be open to their insights. When you encounter a crisis, resist the urge to retreat into fear or frustration. Instead, view the challenge as an invitation to innovate. Ask, what new approach can I try? What resources have I overlooked? Who can help me see this problem in a new light? In doing so, you transform obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. History is filled with examples of imagination at work. The Wright brothers, who dreamed of flight when others said it was impossible. Thomas Edison, who saw the potential for light in the darkness. Each of these pioneers faced crisis and doubt, yet their creative thinking changed the world. Let your imagination be the spark that ignites your journey through crisis. Let it be the compass that guides you when the path is unclear, and the engine that drives you to create solutions where others see only barriers. For in the workshop of your mind, you possess the power to shape your destiny and to succeed against all odds. There is a secret known to every great achiever, a method by which the impossible is made possible, and dreams are transformed into reality. That secret is organized planning the deliberate, thoughtful process of turning vision into action, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Napoleon Hill taught that no amount of desire or faith can bring success without a practical plan persistently applied. Let us reflect on the journey of Charles Lindbergh, who dared to dream of flying solo across the Atlantic Ocean. The world called it madness. The risks were immense, the obstacles many. Yet Lindbergh did not rely on hope alone. He mapped every detail, prepare for every contingency, and assembled a team of experts to help him refine his approach. His organized planning turned a daring vision into a historic triumph. Organized planning begins with a clear, definite goal. Write down exactly what you wish to achieve. Break your dream into smaller, manageable steps. Assign deadlines to each task, and hold yourself accountable for progress. Seek out the knowledge and resources you need, and do not hesitate to enlist the help of others whose skills complement your own. Hill reminds us that plans may fail, but planning is indispensable. When you encounter setbacks, do not abandon your goal. Instead, revise your plan. Ask yourself, what can I do differently? What new approach might yield better results? Flexibility and persistence are the hallmarks of successful planning. Surround yourself with a mastermind group of trusted allies who will challenge your thinking, offer fresh perspectives, and support you through difficulties. Share your plans openly, and welcome constructive criticism. In this way, you strengthen your resolve and sharpen your strategy. Take action every day, no matter how small the step. Progress is built on consistent effort. Celebrate each milestone, and let each success fuel your determination to continue. Remember, the greatest journeys are completed one step at a time. History is filled with examples of organized planning overcoming the impossible. The construction of the Panama Canal, the moon landing, the rebuilding of nations after war all were made possible by men and women who refused to be daunted by the scale of the task. They planned, they adapted, and they persevered. Let your plans be bold, your actions deliberate, and your spirit unyielding. For when you combine vision with organized planning, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. The impossible becomes possible, and your dreams become reality. There is a silent partner in every journey to success, a force that works tirelessly behind the scenes, shaping your thoughts, actions, and destiny. This partner is the subconscious mind. Napoleon Hill taught that the subconscious mind is the connecting link between the conscious mind, where ideas are born, and the infinite intelligence that governs the universe. When harnessed, it becomes a powerful ally, especially in times of adversity. The subconscious mind does not reason or judge, it accepts as truth whatever you repeatedly tell it. If you feed it thoughts of hope, resilience, and resourcefulness, it will respond by guiding you towards solutions and opportunities, even when the way forward seems unclear. But if you allow fear, doubt, and discouragement to take root, your subconscious will reinforce those limitations. Consider the story of Helen Keller, who, despite being blind and deaf, achieved greatness by training her mind to focus on possibility rather than limitation. Through constant affirmation and the unwavering support of her teacher, Anne Sullivan, Helen's subconscious mind became a wellspring of hope and creativity. She learned to trust her inner voice, to persist in the face of overwhelming odds, and to inspire millions with her courage. How can you harness the power of your own subconscious mind? Begin by choosing your thoughts with care. Each day, affirm your goals and your ability to overcome challenges. Visualize yourself succeeding, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. Speak words of encouragement to yourself and reject the whispers of doubt. Hill reminds us that the subconscious mind is most receptive when the conscious mind is relaxed, just before sleep and upon waking. Use these moments to impress your desires and intentions upon your inner self. Write your goals on paper, read them aloud, and let them sink deep into your mind. Over time, your subconscious will begin to work for you, attracting the people, ideas, and resources you need. In times of crisis, trust your intuition. The subconscious mind often communicates through hunches, gut feelings, and sudden insights. Pay attention to these signals and act on them with confidence. Surround yourself with positive influences, and avoid those who drain your energy or sow seeds of doubt. History is filled with examples of men and women who triumph by making the subconscious mind their ally. Thomas Edison, who credited many of his inventions to ideas that came to him in moments of quiet reflection. Athletes who visualize victory before stepping onto the field. Leaders who maintain hope and resilience in the darkest hours. Let your subconscious mind be the reservoir of strength that sustains you through hardship. Feed it with hope, resilience, and resourcefulness, and it will guide you to solutions you never imagined. In the partnership between your conscious will and your subconscious power, you will find the courage to endure, the wisdom to adapt, and the faith to prevail against all odds. There comes a moment in every journey when hesitation must give way to action, when the fog of uncertainty must be pierced by the clarity of decision. Napoleon Hill taught that decision is a turning point of achievement, the moment when dreams are set in motion and destinies are shaped. It is not enough to wish, to hope, or to plan. One must decide, firmly and without wavering, to pursue a chosen course. Consider the story of Joan of Arc, a young woman who, in the face of overwhelming odds, made the decision to lead her people to freedom. She did not wait for perfect conditions or universal approval. She listened to her inner voice, weighed the risks, and chose her path with courage. Her decision became the spark that ignited a movement and changed the course of history. Decision is the antidote to fear and doubt. When you make a firm, timely choice, you cut off the possibility of retreat and commit your energy to forward motion. Hill reminds us that indecision breeds anxiety, while decisive action builds confidence and momentum. The world respects the man or woman who knows what they want and moves toward it with conviction. How can you cultivate the habit of decisive action? Begin by clarifying your values and your goals. Know what matters most to you, and let that knowledge guide your choices. When faced with a challenge, gather the facts, consult your intuition, and then act. Do not wait for absolute certainty, for it rarely comes. Trust in your ability to adapt and learn as you go. Remember, every decision carries risk. There will be times when you choose wrongly, when the outcome is not what you hoped. Yet, even in these moments, you gain experience, wisdom, and resilience. The greatest failure is not in making a wrong choice, but in making no choice at all. Surround yourself with those who support your decisions and encourage your growth. Seek counsel from trusted mentors, but do not surrender your power to choose. The responsibility for your life rests with you alone. History is filled with examples of decisive action changing the course of events. Leaders who chose to stand firm in crisis, inventors who risked everything on a single idea, ordinary people who made extraordinary choices in the face of adversity. Each of these lives is a testament to the power of decision. Let your decisions be bold, your resolve unwavering, and your actions swift. For in the moment of decision, you claim the power to shape your destiny. When you stand at the crossroads, choose your path with courage and let your commitment carry you forward. In doing so, you become the architect of your own success, and you prove that even against the greatest odds, your choices can change the world. There is a mysterious faculty within every person, a silent guide that whispers in moments of uncertainty and nudges us toward the right path when logic alone cannot see the way. Napoleon Hill called this the sixth sense of subtle intuition, the gut feeling, the flash of insight that arrives unbidden and often proves to be the key to triumphing against all odds. Throughout history, the greatest achievements have often hinged on a single moment of intuition. Consider the story of Alexander Graham Bell, who, after countless experiments and setbacks, was guided by a sudden hunch to make a crucial adjustment to his invention. That moment of inspiration led to the birth of the telephone and changed the world forever. Bell later credited his success not only to hard work and planning, but to the mysterious guidance of his inner voice. The sixth sense is not a gift reserved for the few. It is a faculty that can be cultivated by anyone willing to listen. Hill teaches that the sixth sense is the bridge between the conscious mind and the subconscious, and the infinite intelligence that surrounds us all. It is most active when the mind is calm, receptive, and attuned to possibility. How can you develop your own sixth sense? Begin by trusting your instincts. When faced with a difficult decision or an uncertain future, pause and listen to the quiet voice within. Reflect in silence, away from the noise and opinions of others. Pay attention to your dreams, your hunches, and the ideas that come to you in moments of stillness. Often, these are the seeds of breakthrough. Feed your mind with positive thoughts, clear intentions, and a burning desire for your goal. The sixth sense responds to clarity and purpose. Surround yourself with people who encourage your intuition, and avoid those who dismiss it as mere fancy. Keep a journal of your insights and the results they bring. Over time, you will learn to distinguish true guidance from fleeting emotion. In times of crisis, when the path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty, let your sixth sense be your compass. Trust that you are connected to a source of wisdom greater than yourself. Take action on your insights, even if they defy conventional logic. Many of the world's greatest discoveries and successes have come from those who dared to follow their intuition when others doubted. History is filled with examples of the sixth sense at work. Inventors, leaders, artists, and everyday people have all experienced moments when a sudden idea or feeling lead them to victory. These moments are not accidents, but the result of a mind prepared by faith, desire, and persistent effort. Let your sixth sense be the ally that guides you through the unknown. Cultivate it with patience, trust, and openness. When you stand at the crossroads of doubt and decision, listen to the quiet wisdom within. For the partnership between reason and intuition, you will find the courage to act, the clarity to choose, and the power to succeed against all odds. Go forward with confidence, knowing that you possess within you not only the tools of logic and planning, but the subtle guidance of the sixth sense. Trust it, honor it, and let it lead you to heights you never imagined possible. The world belongs to those who listen to the whispers of greatness within their own minds.